Listen up, boys and girls. If you're a Mug Club subscriber, you should be watching this show on Mug Club on Locals and not on Rumble. Click the link in the description below. Go there and watch the full episode without interruption. And if you're only watching on Rumble, subscribe now and get twice as much of me and Steven Crowder's show and a lot more. I thank you.
Keep your friends close, but your enemies closer.
Look what I did to Dallas.
How are you, folks? Speaking of The Godfather, there's a thing called, I talked about it last week, The Offer. It's a series, with actors and actresses about the making of The Godfather, which is a really unbelievably interesting story. A lot of people don't know. And it's fun. It's entertaining. Some of it's a little over the top, but it's all based on, if you read how that came about and how the mob got upset, and it's fucking, there's a guy named Al Ruddy, but you'll see his name after I go on the producers, who has balls of steel, let's put it that way. And it's nice, some pussy in there. What? Who? Honey, you watching? Real quickly, what the fuck do I want to, God, Monday. I feel like I'm doing this for the first time in my life. Then what happened? Great weekend in Arlington, Virginia. Dallas came along to record the shows, and I did a lot of winging and some vicious, distasteful shit that I'm sure I can get put up on Instagram and have pulled off in 11 seconds and fuck the rest of the world. Good night, everybody. So we had a great time. Real quickly, the hotel, we could check in and some type of dance contest going on between girls, 12 to 16. Let me qualify that the hottest girls on the planet, 12. I mean, in that age range. I don't mean I'm not going to say, what else do you want to talk about? Dude, what was your first words when we checked in? You remember?
Yeah, it's a pedo's fucking dream world.
Yeah, you go pedo dream world. The moment we stepped in, it had to be 100 girls running around in leotards. Inappropriate in my, but I'm all right with it now. No, I'm just saying. It's odd. It's fucking weird. I mean, and I'm not saying I'm attracted to it. I'm just saying, Epstein had a good point. No. But they're in the lobby doing splits, and some of them look like grown women as far as Dallas was like. I had to pull Dallas up. I go, get in the elevator, you pig. He's out there asking for hand lotion from one girl. The things he was.
Can you get my back?
Yeah, can I? Yeah, that's what he said. I mean, I did it, but it was one of the mothers, and she was 22. So but I'm just saying, it was the most awkward time I've ever spent in a hotel because I didn't know where to fucking put my eyes. Because we live in a world today. If you accidentally look at a fucking kid, you're. So I'm walking around, literally. Oh wow, look at the artwork. There's nothing up there. I'm walking into people, just trying not to fucking look at these nectarine asses. What? I'm just saying they were doing splits. It was not right. Me and Dal. Then I go outside, right? I go. This is the worst move I made. I have a cigarette somebody gave me from the night before I go. I'm getting out of the lobby. So I walk down. They're all over, by the way, in the middle and both. So I walk down right through a bunch of them to get outside to smoke a cigarette. Now I'm a guy by himself smoking a cigarette, nervously looking in. Blowing smoke rings, which, that's fine, but I shouldn't have done this. I didn't know where to look, what to fucking do. Right there, was it not odd? Everywhere you turned your friggin' head. Ay, ay, ay. And I got in an elevator with a woman who, she was like the age of the mothers are. And she's like, hi. I go, how are you doing? And she said, I said, I'm trying not to look like a pedophile. And she starts belly laughing. I go, are you one of the mothers? No. She goes, no, I'm not. But here's the oddest part. I couldn't believe I forgot. I waited almost a day to tell Dallas this. So Saturday afternoon, I go out to smoke my second cigarette. I'm not out there 5 minutes. Who comes through the door to sit down at the bench across from me? About a 6'3", I'd say a 72-year-old trans. About 6'3". I don't mean with a womanly face. He looked like a linebacker for the Giants in the 50s. He had the boxer's nose. I mean, pushed, but he's got lipstick, a long dress on, fucking jewelry up the ass, and I'm supposed to sit there and I go, hey, how's it going? You know, like he's wearing a suit and tie. Meanwhile, I'm going, Jesus Christ, I'm going to get finger popped. So I'm looking out of the corner of my eye, and I had to say, I don't want to be a dick. And this is what I'm saying. I make all these jokes about trans and I don't, for the life of me, hate. You got to live and let live. My beef is like the rest of the country's beef. Just don't pull us into it with your, fucking pronouns and all that other horse shit and running against biological females and thinking you're good. That type of shit deserves, that's when we stop making funny. But I could tell this guy was old school. He's got his legs crossed, ankles, like I said, like fucking Gronkowski, fucking hands like Rocky Marciano. And I go, how's it going? He goes, pretty good, But he's a guy. What are you doing? Aren't you supposed to get a vagina and complete the That's like Caitlyn Jenner's a guy in a dress with a wig to me. It's fucking hilarious. I'm trying not to smirk. So whatever. I forget what we talked about. I think eating pussy. And no. And I just went, hey, have a good day.
Didn't he ask you if you were there for the dance competition?
Yes. Thank you, Dallas. It's the first thing he goes, are you here for this dance? And I said no, but in my head, this is what I said. I go, you're asking me that? I just went, no. And I went like this. And this is what I said to. I go, I'm just trying not to look like a pedophile. And he goes like this. Oh, like I went over the line of good taste. He goes, oh, like that was edgy. Meanwhile, he's sitting there in a Donna Karen. With fucking. Oh my God. What a weird. Lipstick, the eye make, the whole friggin' thing. And again, nice guy. Live and let fucking live. But don't, And I said, why are you here? He goes, retiring this woman. He was in the Navy, this guy, naturally. Yeah. Well, what other, in the Navy, and some woman in the Navy with him is retiring. So I have whatever the fuck. Last night, I'm watching the ID network, right? There's a woman in Oregon living on a farm. She's like in her 60s. She looks like a guy. And she killed a couple guys and she let her pigs eat one guy alive. Yeah, this is in Oregon. And then they throw this in like casual. They go, his original name was Stephen Buchanan. He's now Lorraine something fucking. I thought it was just a scary, ugly woman who, and.
Fresh over it.
Yeah. It was the, but guess what? Navy. That guy was in the Navy on the fucking show last night. So what I'm saying is, you want to get blown a fuck, get in the Navy. Whatever. I don't know. In the Navy. You can drink man gravy in the Navy. Anyways. Yeah, so happy birthday, Mom. My mom's 86 today. And she fucking runs a 4.340.
So you have a chance.
What does that mean? I have a chance. Oh, to live? I thought that was a sexual remark. Anyways, what else? Let's take a look real quick. There's my ribs. I'm making Chinese ribs. Went out, got 3 pounds of St. Louis style ribs, cut them by hand, which is fun. Makes you feel like a butcher, what I should have been doing for a living. That looks like an abortion, doesn't it? They pull that out of the sink. I always use that one at Planned Parenthood. But these are Chinese spare ribs. Oh my God. I'll even tell you what the ingredients are real quick. Those are in a crock pot. They'll be simmering. I put them on this morning till about 5 o'clock. And they'll be like cancer, meat falling off the bone. Got to be a better way to describe that. But when I'm talking Ching Chao Ting, so goddamn good. Real quick, I'll just tell you what's in there. Then you can 3 pounds of ribs, sweet chili sauce, honey, brown sugar, hoisin, grated garlic, about 5 cloves, soy sauce, Chinese 5-star powder, fresh ginger. It's a marinade. You marinate them overnight or for a whole day, whatever. I put them in a hefty bag, not a hefty bag, a fucking, a sandwich bag. What did you say?
A Ziploc bag?
A Ziploc. You know, the same thing I put my wife's hands in when I cut her apart. Anyways, yeah, so those are I left my house, it smelled like, the Golden Goose. Pick any China restaurant, a fucking golden fence, the wall of Ching Chang. Anyways, all right, I've killed about what? Yeah, so we had a ball, didn't we, Dallas? Good weekend. Dallas is fucking staying out later than me. I'm like, I'm going to go back. Fuck it, Dallas. Get 2 prostitutes sitting on his lap. This guy is wild, man. Anyways, so yeah, it was a good weekend. Hey, in the second half of the show, folks, I'm going to be talking about a serial killer that was caught in Long Island that I used to read about when I lived in New York all the time. And you won't believe pizza crust was involved. Not with the actual killings, I don't think. Yeah, he fed them Dominoes. And also, Bud Light, I think, has a new spokesman, whether they want it or not. You won't believe who it is. So stay tuned for that exclusively on Mug Club. So join Mug Club now. Go to nickdipaoloshow.com to get it. Hey, boys and girls, head over to nickdip.com to get exclusive hats, T-shirts, hoodies, and more. It's yet another way for you to support the show and look sexy at the same time. You can also get signed copies of my previous specials and all of the Nicka shirts. Just go to nickdip.com and click on store. Again, that's nickdip.com, click on store. Thank you guys so much. See you soon. Aight? Aight. Let's get on with it, right? Yep. Arlington chat, it said. I'm like Biden. We just did that. What? Let's move on. As you know, Donald Trump trounces at Turning Point. You know Turning Point USA, Charlie Kirk. They have the big conservative convention every year. It's a big thing for like conservatives and to speak at it. It's a big deal. I've never been invited. Gutfeld actually did. Anyways, attendees at a major conservative conference over the weekend overwhelmingly voted for former President Donald Trump in a Republican presidential primary straw poll. How about, he smoked the competition, I'll tell you that much.
I am your voice.
One other thing I forgot to say about when we were at the hotel in the lobby, and those girls, Dallas yells this out.
Have you ever seen a grown man naked?
And then he was trying to lure a girl up in the room by saying this.
You don't need to meet. You can't have any place.
He's looking at you, kid.
Anyways, Chinese ribs.
我们之前说过91号。
Those are the ingredients. I forgot to do all those. Anyways, according to Tralgafar Group, they're very good. They got a bass player who'll kick the shit out of a poll. Attendees at the Turning Point Action Conference in West Palm Beach, Florida, chose Trump at 87.5% among Republican candidates. And Florida Governor Ronnie DeSantis at what? Coming in close? How about 4.3%? DeSantis actually came in third behind Dizzy Gillespie's corpse and Phil Rizzuto. DeSantis actually came in third behind businessman Perry Johnson, whoever the fuck that is, who garnered 7.8%. How the fuck? Come on. Despite the conference happening in the governor's state, meaning DeSantis. About 3,000 attendees responded to the poll. Half of the approximate 6,000 total attendees there. Half of the attendees were between the ages of 18 and 21, while the other half were of varying ages, 5 to 11. Trump attended the event on Saturday, delivering a lengthy speech that covered a number of different topics. He addressed the, he addressed the double standard as far as him being indicted for, supposedly, classified material not being handled right. Here he is.
After leaving the White House, Bill Clinton kept 79 audio tapes in his socks and in his sock drawer. That's why it's called the Clinton socks case. They included discussions of U.S. foreign policy options, both defense and offense against Cuba, the recordings of President Clinton's conversations with the biggest foreign leaders then in the world, sensitive facts about trade negotiations taken from presidential briefings, discussions with the Secretary of State about the conflict in Bosnia, which was a tough one.
Nothing important.
And so much more. Really
Unbelievable.
big stuff. Took it out. These were recordings. Took them out in his socks. They found him in his sock drawer. Nothing happened to him. Not only was Bill Clinton never even considered for criminal prosecution based on the tapes he took, but when he was sued for them, the government sued him civilly, not criminally. They didn't say you're going to go to jail under the Espionage Act. But when they sued him, he won the case. Judge Amy Berman Jackson's decision.
Listen to the
states,
ruling by the judge.
and very conclusively, listen to this, quote, under the statutory scheme established by the Presidential Records Act, the decision to segregate personal materials from presidential records is made by the president during the term of the president and in the president's sole discretion.
Okay?
Precedence.
Yes. Yes. Key word. But not when it comes to Trump. And you, how anybody in America, I don't care if you hate this guy's guts or not. You're all right with that, though, the double standard? Then fuck you. I didn't mean that. I love all you people. Because liberals don't watch your show, so I didn't mean fuck you guys. You know that. Anyways. Why am I apologizing? Who gives a fuck? Not like I'm making money here. Meanwhile, DeSantis did not attend the event in his home state. He was playing pickleball with a retarded kid. What? His campaign press secretary, Brian Griffin, said in a statement to the Washington Examiner, and I quote, Governor DeSantis spent the day with Iowans and spoke to a packed house at the Tennessee GOP statesman dinner later that night. This was a day after he delivered the strongest interview at the Family Leadership Summit, which Donald Trump notably skipped. Ron DeSantis is campaigning to win, as opposed to, Trump, who wants to come in fourth. Get the fuck out of the way. Asa Hutchinson, you know who he is, this jerk-off? I think he's a Texas congressman, right? This guy is a rhino to the 100th power. He's badmouthed Trump before, he's still pretending he's a Republican. I can't remember the specifics a couple months ago. I'm like, how is this guy? Asa Hutchinson, who is a wolf in sheep's clothing, in my opinion, and worse than a rhino, got the welcome that he deserved when he was trying to speak.
Yes, I'm running for president of the United States. We've got some great people that are running, and what we need is respect for those that might have a differing opinion.
How dare you show up at this fucking thing? He makes Mitt Romney look like Strom Thurmond. I mean, he's a fucking two-faced, prick-faced puller. For attendees, second preference, this made me excited, because you guys know who I like other than Trump. For attendees, second preference to be president, half of the respondents chose who? Vivek Ramaswamy, my boy, who also spoke at the conference and was swarmed by a bunch of belly dancers from Calcutta. No, swarmed by attendees afterwards. 21% named Trump as their second choice, and 13.5% chose DeSantis. As far as vice president goes, 30% of the respondents said Kerry Lake, 24% said Rep. Byron Donald of Florida, and 22% said Ramaswamy. So he did great in both, which, you know what, that's uplifting. That means somebody's paying attention, I think, in my opinion. Unless you dislike them, then you can tell me to go kiss my grits. Sorry for the strong language. Let's stay on the politics here, shall we, for a second? DeSantis volunteer with potty mouth. Did you see this clip? This made me laugh till I almost shit my pants. Why it's news, I don't know. It almost makes me want to go fucking vote for DeSantis if he hires guys like this. Team DeSantis and his super PAC recently bragged about their $100 million door-knocking operation. It's an operation. No, don't fucking do that.
Give me the money, you understand? Give me the fucking money, you hear me? You hear me? I gotta come here and bust.
So anyways, here's a video that a South Carolina voter released of paid DeSantis door knocker who showed up at the door and was caught saying, I think, didn't William Taft say this before this kid suck my balls? Suck my hairy balls? And admits to being, stoned. I didn't even realize. Check. Wait, did I already go by it? Yep, it's right here. Oh, go ahead. Oh, should I?
You get off my fucking lawn, then I'd be like, yo, eat my balls, honestly. Eat my big, hairy sack.
Delicious.
Thank you.
That's and I'm a little stoned, so I don't really care.
All right. Was that loud enough for the people at home?
Bon appetit.
Eat my big hairy ball. And you know, the left, what an opportunity. This proves DeSantis should be, what are you kidding me? If I'm Ronnie DeSantis, I'm handing the kid an extra $200 and go, you know what? You might not want to talk like that, but we just got about 8 million views showing that we're knocking doors and working. I call that negative attention. This is Team DeSantis, ladies and gentlemen. Disgusting, said the person who posted the video, who's living in 1948 in their fucking heads. Give me a goddamn break. Wasn't that funny? I thought it was just Jim fucking Dandy. For those of you guys on Mug Club, stick around for the second half of the show. Everyone else, go to nickdipaoloshow.com and join to get my full show and Steven Crowder's full show and a whole lot more. And you can click on my tour dates. I don't even know if we got them up yet, but in the fall, I know I'm hitting Cleveland and Buffalo. And speaking of that, I met these characters. You can't really see this, but I met these characters in Cleveland back in 2021. They're from Pittsburgh. They were at the show this weekend in Virginia. They say Pittsburgh connection. You know, like Henry Hill had a Pittsburgh connection, remember selling coke? Anyhow, that's Kurt, Dan, Nick, Pete, and Matt. Hilarities in Cleveland. We are your Nickas in Pittsburgh. My. So thank you, fellas, for being such loyal fans.